Hello, and welcome back to the Marketing Brief. I am your host, Brian Aquan, and this is the podcast where we briefly touch on topics across the marketing industry. And as always, we're joined by industry experts, and we're really excited today to be joined by Jamie J., who is a veteran, a former paratrooper, a guy who's got a bigger beard than me, and I'm certainly jealous of that. But we're excited to have you today, Jamie. Thanks for joining.
Oh, Brian, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Of
Honored.
course. And you're from Bottleneck Distant Assistance, correct?
CEO and founder, yes.
Awesome. And how would you introduce yourself and kind of what you do?
Well, I would say I am a husband to the most amazing, beautiful woman in the world.
Good
I
start.
have an unbelievable daughter who just got out of the Army. Super proud of her. And then two amazing grandkids. And then I also have a daughter from my wife's previous marriage. And it's kind of funny because, it's pretty cool because we've seen, not accepting to over time accepting. And that's been really powerful and it's been really nice to be around. And both of our daughters are named Jessica. So there's something there.
Nice. That's awesome. And what do you guys do at Bottleneck?
So what we do at Bottleneck is we created a brand new category called Delegation Intelligence, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about that,
Yeah.
but it's basically all around that challenge of what I call the founder's trap. A lot of founders get stuck. I've been hiring people over 2 decades now, and it's been a massive learning curve. And this is not something you learn in school. This is not something you typically learn how to do. It's not out there, and so I wanted to design and define what that founder's trap is. And so basically that's what we do. You've heard of operations departments, sales departments, marketing departments, HR departments, but there's still mass confusion in communication, and there's still high rates of turnover on average. And here in the US, it's 38%. You know, why will someone leave one position and go do the exact role 5 minutes down the road? Well, they do it for 50 cents more an hour because
Hmm.
the founder's trap was identified for whomever it was in charge of that organization, and they didn't make it appealing to stay there. It's basically what we do is we identify where their bottlenecks are, and then we build a delegation department, build processes and systems all for them on their behalf, so they feel more confident in knowing that when they delegate certain tasks, those tasks will be completed up to their level of expectation. So it's a complete different.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So we've been discussing, well, we've outlined three macro trends for the year at Aquan Consulting, be it authenticity, community and people, and then also value, which I think are just the really big macro trends for marketing for 2026. It tends to lead me into community and people because that's really who you're building systems for. I guess I'd start here. I know from my own experience and from managing people that having autonomy is like really important in the workplace. Being able to make decisions within a framework, right? Obviously, everyone can't just be doing their own thing, but within a framework, feeling like I have autonomy, I have authority over certain decisions. Is that something that you guys look to set up in your processes and systems?
I can't believe you're the first person to ever ask me that. And that's freaking,
Really?
it's right on. That's exactly the reason why and I wrote a book called Quit Repeating Yourself. It's all around
Cool.
systems, processes, all that stuff. The reason why documenting your processes is so important is because it gives you the confidence knowing that somebody else is going to make a decision on your behalf that you're okay with, right? And
Hmm.
that's part of the founder's trap. I mean, if you ask yourself right now, say you're, 5 to, I don't know, 30 employees working there. You're, doing 3 million to 20 million a year. You're growing, but if you're the CEO, the founder, are you still having to answer, hey, can I get this approved? Are you still having to approve tasks from other individuals? Are you still doing your, late at night catching up on your emails? Are you still doing all of that stuff? And if you are, and you can, list out 5 questions, if you're still doing these simple tasks, if you score, 80% or above that, you're the bottleneck.
Yeah.
And if you look at it too, one of those questions might be, do you have at least 30% of all of your workflows documented in a
Right.
system? If you don't have it documented, or if you say yes and you haven't done anything with it in a year or 3 years, then then yeah, you're experiencing the founder's trap right there. And your question hit that right on the head, because if you cannot come and build a company to where you're not sitting there overseeing every single decision being made, you haven't created a strong enough system. And basically, you know what that system is? It's taking everything that's in your brain, this is your baby, and just documenting it. That's it.
Yeah.
Just get it
Yeah.
out of your head. And then that will create an opportunity for somebody else to come in and assume that responsibility so you can focus on doing, you know, whatever gives you the energy.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. And that's something I believe in. So we're immediately on the same page there.
100%.
So getting it out of your head, building the processes, how do you then go about instituting it, right? How do you execute on that? How do you get a whole organization to kind of buy into this new process?
Yeah, well, that's actually kind of the fun part. And it all starts with the leadership, right? The CEO, from the CEO down. It's the CEO that's creating what's in his mind, right? It's their idea, it's their strategy, it's their foundational understanding of what category they're even in and what they're representing and what problem they're overcoming, right? Now, when they start talking about that, they get all excited, right? And in order for that to be dispersed amongst the team, you need to make sure that you're putting people in the right positions for those responsibilities for the given roles. If they don't share the same kind of enthusiasm that you share doing the things that you love, they're probably in the wrong role. And a really good
Yeah.
question to ask people a lot is, hey, what are you going to do after you leave here?
Hmm.
Right? No, I really want to. No, seriously, what's your passion? Because the answer is going to be one of two things. I'm either going to go and do this, or this is what I want to do. So you can either say, okay, I know they're going to be here for a couple of years. You can plan accordingly. It's something that's good. It's a good fit for now. Okay, good. Let's do that. Or you can maybe design a role for them that
Hmm.
really embraces what it is that's passionate for them. Once you start doing that and you start delegating, you'll start figuring it out. And you'll figure out real quick what's not working.
Yeah.
Fire quickly, right?
Yeah.
Or reassign. And it's really important to be able to do that. But it's actually kind of fun when you start doing this, if you think about it. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, that's work. It doesn't excite me. It should excite you because you're getting ready to step up to the next level of your game. And
Yeah.
so many people don't do that.
Yeah. I would think a big part of that is creating a culture where it's okay that you might go on to something else in your career, which we all know. I mean, I've had many, many careers, many, many jobs in my career, but like setting that culture of like, hey, this is probably not going to be your last job, right? Especially if you're in your 20s. This is probably not your last job. Is that something you talk to founders about as well?
Oh yeah. I think it's really important for people to understand that, because a lot of people get freaking butthurt or whatever. I don't know. Like, you want to leave and go work somewhere else? Why is that? And they take offense to that, when in all actuality, you got to be there and you got to support them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you that question I asked earlier, that really helps set the tone and sets your understanding, or I'm missing the word. It sets your
Mindset?
yeah, mindset, but it's you're preparing yourself, right, for what's
Oh, okay.
going to be happening. And
Yeah.
and that has a lot to do with having an incredible culture and just being open. I've heard
Yeah.
so many CEOs say, I've got an open door policy, and you go, knock on the
Do
door,
you?
and they're like, come back later.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily saying, hey, we have an open door policy, but make it scheduled, right? So
Uh-huh.
we do office hours, and we do things like that where I'm 100% approachable. Every single assistant that is placed with a client of ours, I meet. I personally
Mm-hmm.
talk to them, because I want to see them. I want to learn about them. I want to know, what makes them tick, and I want them also to know that, hey, they can approach me anytime with anything. We've got systems in place to work with them through HR and all that stuff, but I also
Yeah.
want to let them know that, hey, I'm accessible if you need anything at all. And I think the more familiar you can do that. Now, you can't do it with super large companies, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that's why we specialize in the 5 to 30, right around in there.
Yeah.
Really good at taking those to the next level.
Yeah. That makes sense. And there's probably a scalable solution in there where you set it up with a process to get there. But I think when you were talking there, it also leads me to one of my other macro trends of authenticity, right? Of like doing what you say, being who you say, whether it's within an organization or as a brand, really coming out and saying, hey, this is who we are as a brand. I think a lot of people think advertising is trying to trick people, right? They're going to trick you into buying this product. And authenticity is the way to a long lasting relationship with any customer. I think authenticity is so much more important even within an organization. And it sounds like that's what you're talking about with making yourself available, talking to people and understanding who they are and being able to relate to them. Something I try to do as a leader is really understand who the people on my team are and how they're motivated. Because there was a time in my career where I just thought, I just tell people what to do and they do it. And that's being a manager, right? And now I'm a much more active leader, whereas I know I have to understand what motivates my different employees so that I can get the best out of them. Is that something you subscribe to as well? It's just, coming from a place of understanding.
Absolutely. And once a year, I actually have our internal team rewrite their job description.
Nice.
And then I want you to do what it is you're doing now or what you'd want to do. And we do that once a year.
Yeah.
And if we can move them into a different role, man, we'll do it. We have an incredible bookkeeper. He is amazing, and she was being a team player and helping us interview people because we were getting so many candidates coming in that she stepped out of her bookkeeping role into this role, and she was doing a fantastic job. But she came one day, she said, "Jamie, can I not do that anymore? I don't like doing that." And I was like, "Fine, yeah, that's great." So having the
Yeah.
flexibility to move people, the opposite may occur too. Someone may fall into something and go, "Oh my gosh, I love that. Can I do that
Yeah.
instead of this?"
Right.
And so that's all part of it. I think it's just being flexible and understanding, but within a process or within a system, within an
Within a framework.
structured
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah. And you've created that space where she feels comfortable to come to you and say that,
Yeah,
which is great. Yeah.
yeah,
It speaks to retention and how you keep people in the long run.
yes.
That's awesome. Well, I like to ask you a question because I try to keep positive here. What's something you're excited about? It can be in your professional life, it can be in your home life with your family, which is obviously very important to you. What's something you're excited about right now?
I'm excited about Military Creator Con.
Cool.
That's going to be in Arlington, Texas, April
Hmm.
16th through 19th. This is going to be a lot of fun for veterans and veteran connected people and people that support veterans. Christopher Lockhead and I are going to be doing a 1 day category design intensive. So we're going to teach people what category design is.
Cool.
And then we're going to kick off the Military Creator Con doing a fireside chat with Lockheads. We're really pumped about that and seeing what's happening, and we've got some amazing people coming out there. And yeah, the category design intensive is going to be insane from 9:30 to 4 in the afternoon, a 1 day
Okay.
fully immersed. How to create your own category, learn what your provocative point of view is,
Uh-huh.
how to name it, frame it, and claim it, and then
Nice.
walk away with what Lockhead refers to as lightning strikes or
Hmm.
rolling thunder, as Mike Dampus refers to it as, and it's kind of like a plan to let the world know what this new category is. And they're going to learn all of that in 1 day. And these guys, I'm telling you, these guys are amazing. Christopher's the godfather of category design. He wrote the book Play Bigger, sold
Nice.
over 500,000 copies. They're just, I'm really pumped for that.
Amazing. And what city is that in, did you say?
That's going to be in Arlington, Texas.
Arlington.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what dates?
April 16th, 17th, and 18th. Yeah, it's like
Awesome.
literally across the road from Cowboy Stadium, I guess.
Okay. Nice.
I've never been there, but I'm heading there. So excited about it.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on. How do people get in touch with you? What's the best way to get in touch? Obviously, LinkedIn is there, but is there a website they go to?
Yeah, bottleneck.online.
Hmm.
And again, Brian, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it and having this nice, authentic dialogue.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for joining this brief marketing conversation. This has been the Marketing Brief with Brian Aquan, and stay curious out there.